There's a mistake I see almost every investor make, and it's not picking the wrong stock, it's not panic selling, it's something much quieter than that. They take the exact same ETFs from their 401k or Roth IRA and drop them straight into their taxable brokerage account. Same funds, same percentages, same strategy. And every single year, the IRS takes a bigger bite out of their returns than it ever needed to. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Your taxable brokerage account plays by a completely different set of rules, and if you don't pick the right ETFs for that account specifically, you could be giving away thousands of dollars in taxes you never needed to pay. So today, I'm going to give you the 5 best ETFs built specifically for a taxable brokerage account in 2026. I'll tell you exactly what percentage of each one to hold based on your age, and I'll show you the one popular dividend ETF that almost everyone puts in the wrong account. Let's get into it. And real quick, all investing carries risk. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before making any investment decisions. Why taxable accounts are a different game. In a 401k or a Roth IRA, your money grows without being taxed along the way. In a Roth, you never pay taxes on the gains at all. That's incredible. But in a taxable brokerage, every year the IRS shows up. If your ETF pays a dividend, you owe taxes on it, even if you reinvest that dividend right back in. If you sell something at a profit, you owe taxes on the gain. There's no hiding, there's no deferring. It happens every single year. Now here's where it gets important. Not all dividends are taxed the same. There are 2 types. Qualified dividends get taxed at a much lower rate, usually around 15%, sometimes even 0. But ordinary dividends, those get taxed at your regular income tax rate. That could be 24, 32, even 37 or more. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine 2 people each invest $100,000. They both earn the same total return. But one person's ETF kicks out a 3.3% dividend that's mostly qualified. The other person's ETF only pays a 1% dividend. Over 20 years, that first person could pay over $30,000 more in taxes. Same return, very different outcome. ETF number 1, the foundational ETF. If you only bought one ETF for the rest of your life in a taxable account, this would be it. VOO is Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF. It holds the 500 biggest and best companies in America. Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, all of them. It charges a tiny fee of just 0.03%. That's $3 a year on a $10,000 investment. Over the last 10 years, VOO has returned about 15% per year on average. But here's what makes it perfect for a taxable brokerage. VOO has never, not once, distributed a capital gain to its shareholders since it started, 0. And its dividend yield is only about 1.1%, which is almost entirely qualified. That means you're barely paying any taxes along the way. Almost all of your returns come from the price going up, and you don't owe anything on that until you decide to sell. Now, if you want even broader coverage, VTI tracks the entire U.S. stock market, about 4,000 companies, including smaller ones. Same 0.03% fee, same 0 capital gains history. The returns are nearly identical to VOO over time. Either one is an incredible choice. One more option. If you like a lower share price, there's SPLG, now called SPYM. It tracks the same S&P 500 index as VOO, but trades around $80 a share instead of over $600, and it actually charges 1 penny less, 0.02%. If you want to invest precise dollar amounts, SPYM can make that easier.
Okay, I need to be honest with you about something. If you've watched any investing video on YouTube in the last 3 years, you've probably heard that SCHG is the greatest dividend ETF ever made. And look, it's a good fund. I like it. But it does not belong in your taxable brokerage account, at least not if you're still earning a paycheck. Here's why. SCHG pays a dividend yield of about 3.3%. That means on a $500,000 portfolio, SCHG is forcing you to take $16,500 in taxable income every single year. Even if you reinvest every penny, you still owe taxes on it. Now, compare that to VTV, the Vanguard Value ETF. VTV gives you the same kind of safe, recession-proof, blue-chip value companies, but its dividend yield is only 1.9%. On that same $500,000, VTV produces about $7,000 less in taxable dividends each year. At a 15% qualified dividend tax rate, that's roughly $1,000 less in taxes every year, compounding. And it doesn't stop there. VTV charges half the fee, 0.03% compared to SCHG's 0.06%. VTV holds 315 companies instead of just 103. It has much lower turnover, which means fewer surprise tax events inside the fund. And over the last 3 years, VTV has actually returned about 17% per year, compared to just over 6% for SCHG. So where does SCHG belong? In your Roth IRA, in your traditional IRA, in any account where dividends don't get taxed. That's where SCHG shines. But in your taxable brokerage, VTV does the same job with a lot less tax pain. ETF number 3, the international ETF. Most people think international ETFs should go in their retirement accounts, and I get it. International stocks tend to have higher dividends, so you'd want to shelter those from taxes, right? Actually, it's the opposite, and the reason is something called the foreign tax credit. When VXUS, that's the Vanguard Total International Stock ETF, holds companies in places like Germany or Japan or Taiwan, those foreign governments take a cut of the dividends before you ever see them. About 7.5% gets withheld. Now here's the key. If VXUS sits in your taxable brokerage account, you can claim that money back on your U.S. tax return. It's called the foreign tax credit. That's worth about $200 a year for every $100,000 you have invested. But if VXUS is inside your IRA or 401k, that credit is lost forever. You can never get it back. VXUS gives you exposure to over 8,500 companies across Europe, Asia, and emerging markets. The expense ratio is just 0.05%, and the recent performance has been remarkable. In 2025, VXUS returned about 21%, actually beating the S&P 500. And through early 2026, it's up over 11%, while the S&P is basically flat. International stocks also trade at roughly half the valuation of U.S. stocks right now. That doesn't guarantee they'll keep outperforming, but it does mean there's a bigger cushion of safety at these prices. ETF number 4, the Broad Growth ETF. Growth ETFs are hands down the most tax-friendly type of stock fund you can own, and the reason is simple. Growth companies reinvest their profits back into the business instead of paying big dividends, so your returns come almost entirely from the stock price going up. And here's why that matters so much in a taxable account. You don't owe a single penny in taxes on price appreciation until you choose to sell. That means your money keeps compounding year after year, almost completely untouched by taxes. Compare that to a high dividend ETF. SCHG forces you to recognize 3.3% in taxable income every year, whether you want to or not. But a growth ETF like SCHG, it pays a dividend of just 0.36%. That's almost nothing. Your money just keeps growing. So let me give you 3 great choices. SCHG is the Schwab US Large Cap Growth ETF. It charges just 0.04% and has averaged about 18.8% year over year over the last decade. VUG is the Vanguard Growth ETF. Same 0.04% fee, about 18.1% 10-year average. And QQQM tracks the NASDAQ 100. It costs 0.15%, but has averaged about 20% per year over the last decade. All 3 are loaded with companies like Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, and Amazon. They're heavy on technology, yes, but they also include healthcare, consumer companies, and industrials. And here's a bonus tip, VUG and SCHG track different indexes. That means if one drops in value, you can sell it take the tax loss and immediately buy the other one without breaking the wash sale rule. That's called tax loss harvesting, and it's one of the biggest advantages of owning ETFs in a taxable account. This is the satellite position, 5 to 10% of your portfolio at most, not the core, just the extra firepower. My pick here is VGT, the Vanguard Information Technology ETF. It holds over 300 technology companies and has averaged more than 23% per year over the last decade. But I want to be clear about the risk. The top 3 holdings, NVIDIA, Apple, and Microsoft, make up almost 44% of the entire fund. If tech struggles, this one drops hard. Another popular choice is SMH, the Semiconductor ETF. It has an even higher 10-year average, but it moves 70% more than the overall market in both directions. Its 52-week price range swings from around $170 to over $400. That's not for everyone. One important thing to watch out for: if you already own SCHG or VUG as your growth ETF, adding VGT means you're doubling up on a lot of the same mega-cap tech names. Only add this if you specifically want to overweight technology beyond what your growth ETF already gives you. Let me walk you through 3 sample portfolios based on age and risk tolerance. Remember, these are for the taxable brokerage account only. Person number 1 is in their 30s or 40s. They have a higher risk tolerance and decades until retirement. For this person, I'd go 30% VOO, 15% VTV, 20% VXUS, 25% SCHG, and 10% VGT. Person number 2 is in their 50s. They're in their peak earning years, and they want to keep taxes as low as possible right now. I'd go 30% VOO, 25% VTV. Notice I'm going heavier on VTV because its lower dividend means less tax. 15% VXUS, 20% SCHG, and 10% VGT. Person number 3 is 60 or older. They're nearing retirement or already in retirement. Safety and some income matter most. I'd go 25% VOO, 35% VTV, 15% VXUS, 15% VUG for modest growth, and 10% in a municipal bond ETF like VTEB. Municipal bond interest is tax-free at the federal level, which makes it perfect for a taxable account. And notice, none of these portfolios include bonds, REITs, or actively managed funds, or high-dividend ETFs like SCHD. Those belong in your 401k or IRA, where the taxes don't matter. The one rule that ties it all together. If you remember just one thing from this entire video, make it this. It's not just about what you invest in, it's about where you put it. Tax-efficient funds like index ETFs, growth ETFs, and international ETFs belong in your taxable brokerage. Tax-inefficient funds like bonds, REITs, actively managed funds, and high-dividend ETFs belong in your IRA or 401k. This concept is called asset location, and getting it right can save you tens of thousands of dollars over your investing lifetime. Most people never even think about it. Now you know. Now you know what goes in a taxable brokerage and why it's different from everything else. But the next big question is this: how do you build the perfect total portfolio across all your accounts? Your 401k, your Roth IRA, and your brokerage, all working together. I'm covering that exact strategy in my next video. If this video helped you, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It helps this channel more than you know. And drop a comment below. Tell me, what is the one ETF you're currently holding in your taxable brokerage account? And after watching this, would you change it? I read every single comment. I'll see you in the next one. Keep investing simplified.